he's got goals. 13.
Against the clock, it really didn't matter. Mickey, defended Kentucky.
No scriptwriter could have ever written a better story.
TSCHIO Aachen, world-class sport in a truly unique setting. International top riders, high-level competitions and an atmosphere like no other. Highlight the Rolex Grand Prix on Sunday. Watch it live on clipmyhorse.tv.
Well, hello there and a very warm welcome to you wherever you may be watching from around the world to this edition of the Clip My Horse TV in and out studio. Amy Pants here with you, and what a pleasure as always it is to be with you, bringing you the most incredible sport this afternoon. We speak, of course, of the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen. We are in TSCHIO Aachen week, and wow, haven't we seen the biggest names in show jumping take centre stage on that hallowed turf. Incredible stuff coming your way this afternoon as we look to this Grand Prix. We are going to dive into all of the analysis, the insight and behind the scenes, and I'll be joined today, of course, by my faithful partner in crime, Charlotte Smet.
This week on In Out, we're joined by Charlotte Smet. Charlotte isn't just an analyst, she's a professional rider herself. That insider experience in the saddle gives her a unique perspective on the numbers, breaking down the data with a rider's instinct. From performance trends to those crucial split-second decisions on course, Charlotte connects analytics with what it really feels like out there in the arena. Get ready for sharper insights and smarter takes, only here on Clip My Horse TV, In Out.
And I am delighted to be here. Amy, it's Aachen Grand Prix Day. It is Christmas. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. I am so excited.
We did. We had to force a sandwich down to make sure that she was going to survive this epic day of sport, because it is all coming. Aachen Grand Prix, this Rolex Grand Prix, is a slightly different format. It's a lovely long afternoon seeing the best of the best. We are really privileged today. We said this yesterday, if you are just getting into the sport of show jumping and you chose this weekend, this was the very weekend. It really was, wasn't it? Because what a showcase we are going to be treated to this afternoon, and we can't wait to get stuck into it. Let's talk a little bit about this show, TSCHIO Aachen, because it is a very special show. Of course, we see the CHIO at Aachen every year, but this year we've had to change things slightly because, of course, it is a World Championship year, Charlotte. Let's learn 4 fast facts then about TSCHIO Aachen. That is the cheeky nickname it has been given for 2026 to set it apart. This show in May, of course, those World Championships, that CHIO in Aachen, will be taking place a little later on in the year. Now, Aachen hosts one of the 4 Rolex Grand Slam events, and we're going to dig into what that Rolex Grand Slam actually is a little bit later so that you are fully briefed as we head into today's sport. This main stadium here at Aachen, there are several, of course, arenas at Aachen, but the main stadium, the capacity is 40,000 people. And you can bet your bottom dollar that today, every seat in the house will be filled. And this week, of course, we have 60 of the best international riders taking to that hallowed turf. 167 horses competing in the international show jumping competition, and they represent 18 countries around the world. And we know that over the world will be watching. So I'm proud to be a part of it. We really are. And someone else who's having a really great time, Marlon Larson has been having a wonderful week in Aachen, chatting to everyone. And this is a chap who's had a wonderful week too, having a great victory earlier on. It is Daniel Coyle, and we're joining them now.
Yeah, what an absolute pleasure to start this degree. It's very much like Christmas, and to do this with Daniel Coyle, of course, something that really puts everything in such a super perspective. This is just not any other day. This is Rolex Major Day. What is your take on it?
Yeah, I try and treat it the same as every other day, but for sure it's not. Big competition coming, a lot of people here to try and win.
And you also told me earlier that this is something that is a bit different from the Grand Prix in terms of having 2 rounds. Tell us a little bit more.
Obviously, compared to other Grand Prix, you just have 1 round and then a speed, but today you got 3 rounds. You got 2 really tough rounds, one usually harder than the other, and then the jump off, which it's a little bit more like a marathon rather than a sprint. And today it's very rare that somebody would win by fluke today. It has to be won and earned, and over 3 rounds, that's what happens.
And you're going to be riding Gisborne today. Tell us a little bit about him, his character, and your journey. Yeah,
I know Gisborne already a long time. Earl Grange bought him as an 8-year-old, and one of our Canadian riders rode him for a long time, and then I rode him for a few years. Actually, then your own Dubaldam rode him for a little bit, and now my rider from Ireland, Aidan O'Brien, is doing a great job with him and the young riders. But I'm a little short of horsepower now, and I said to Ariel, we should take Gisborne to Aachen. I didn't know if I was going to jump the Grand Prix, but he's been good the last few days, so I'm hopeful.
And what has he done this morning? How does he spend his morning on a Rolex Major Day?
He's 15 years old. I don't do so much. We've got a marathon. You don't do a marathon before a marathon, in my opinion. So he hasn't done much this morning, and he looks in great shape. So I'll see him when the big moment comes.
And for you as a rider, and this, it's not a Nations Cup, but it's still important, and you can help each other out a little bit, or?
Yeah, of course. But when it comes right down to it, if there's only 2 or 3 of them in the jump off and I'm one of them, they ain't going to be helping me. That's not going to happen. But I mean, generally, the first few rounds, everybody tries to give everybody the correct advice for their horse and their chance. But when it comes right down to it, we're all competitors, and the best man may win.
No major win for you. Do you think today is the day?
I don't know, but I'll keep trying until I get one.
Yeah, and a lot of good luck for what's ahead. Yeah, what a day that is about to start here in Aachen, and let's continue to do all the special build-up.
Thank you so much to Marlon and to Daniel. Much luck to him as well. I love that. We're all buddies and we all help each other until we don't anymore.
Exactly. And that makes sense because there's not only a lot of money up on offer today, but also a lot of prestige in that Aachen Grand Prix.
Absolutely correct. As I just control my paperwork because it's all getting a little bit exciting here. Venue, of course, we're focusing on this. We can take a look at some incredible pictures of it now. Just look at that. It is absolutely magnificent. When they call it Mecca for horse sport, they really aren't kidding around. You can see all of the arenas on the outside, the periphery is there. They're not being used on this particular occasion. Stadium this week, and you could see that there's actually a dressage arena in the middle that has been fully prepped, and that is ready for the World Championships in August, which is absolutely incredible. They're not using that at all for the jumping. The show jumping is taking place all around that dressage arena, so they're sort of bobbing about round it, and then they do the prize givings in the dressage arena. So really sort of a clash of two worlds. We're getting a bit of a sneak peek there behind the scenes, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think because it is so different, to other years in Aachen, you know, the riders are also seeing this for the. So it's great to see this already, and for some of the horses that have already jumped in Aachen that would not have seen this before. So it's great to kind of familiarize yourself with this dressage arena in the middle of the main ring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, if you're learning about horse sport, this is one place that will be a very key place to remember and important and at the forefront of your mind. And Marlon has been checking it out, the venue in focus.
So we're here at the very entry of Aachen, and you start to feel the magic right away. Welcome to one of the most iconic venues for top equestrian sport. The first Rolex Grand Prix in show jumping took place in 1927. 2013 was the start of a new era, the first year for the Rolex Grand Slam. More than 350,000 spectators come to Aachen every year. 200 exhibitors from more than 60 factories offers world-class shopping, food and drinks. The facilities for horses and riders are outstanding. This is where most riders start their first preparation together with their teams. Then, winding their way between two of the landmarks of the Aachen venue, perfectly managed hedges and birches, they end up at the second warm-up, which is impeccably set up. One last chance to get every detail in perfect place before entering the main arena. A capacity of 40,000 people, an atmosphere and a character that is incomparable. So this is where all of the 40 riders in Sunday's Rolex Major Grand Prix will have to find all of the answers for every question asked by the course designer Frank Rothenberger. Every winner in Aachen will get their names up on the famous winning boards. The one of 2026 will be right up there with some of the most legendary names of all times. This year, 60 riders came here to do just that. Only one will manage. New history of the Rolex Grand Slam is about to be written in Aachen.
Absolute goosebumps every time that plays. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it.
It's so special. Ooh. It's the dream of every rider.
Yeah, that's exactly. And as I said yesterday, it doesn't matter how big you're jumping, what kind of level you're competing at, the dream of every rider, and absolutely on the bucket list. So get there if you can. However, if you're not there, that's okay. You can stick with us. We are going to bring you every moment of all of this incredible sport this afternoon. We want to take a little look back, though, because we were here yesterday afternoon. And I tell you, it was a real treat to watch that class yesterday because it felt really special in its own right. It was the second qualifier for this Rolex Grand Prix. Earlier in the week, we saw Daniel Coyle take win a class at Aachen. This week was brilliant. Lily Keenan and Ken. He's just Ken. He's actually called Kick On, but we all know him as Ken, this lovely, lovely horse. It was just an epic victory.
It was absolutely incredible, especially because it looked so easy. The first round looked so smooth for them, and then that jump off where they were almost a second and a half, I think, quicker than Abdel Said. Yeah. But it didn't look that way. It didn't look hectic at all. She just kept moving. She left out a stride in every single line, and it just looked so smooth and easy, and she was delighted. The smile on her face afterwards, her, you know, hugging her whole team and her horse, and it was just lovely, lovely to see.
And lots of emotion in that post-match interview as well with Marlon. We want to go and take a look at that now. It's Lily Keenan, the super sweet lady, and Kick On.
Setting the standard, Abdel Said, 39.59. Opens up, gets it. Racing, slightly up on the clock right now from Lily. Good spin in here. If she can get this turn back, she's with a great chance. Don't drift. Stay on it. Stays on it. She's a second up coming to the last. Lily Keenan, Kick On, literally do that. That is going to be good. C8.21, Lily Keenan in front. Takes over the lead from Abdel Said. Terrific stuff from the American as she takes over the lead now. Leading position here in Aachen. To come. Kick On all the way.
He's just an incredible little horse, and he has so much heart. He gave me a leave out in every single line, and he did it so easily. Yeah, I'm really, really happy. So tomorrow I'm going to jump Faster, who's been my partner for 8 years. I'm going to jump him in the Grand Prix. He jumped double clear last year in the Grand Prix here, so I'm really excited for that. I only jumped one class this week with him, really aiming for tomorrow, and obviously it's great to have a confidence boost going into that.
Yeah, beautiful pictures there. Lovely to see and lovely to hear from Lily as well. She was, you know, we're tearing up as well listening, talking about faster that she brings forward for today's Grand Prix, and that's where we're going to land our focus. I mean, we're so excited to talk about it. It is a very special Grand Prix, and it is a special format. Let's give you 4 fast facts then about this Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen. It's one of only 4 Rolex Grand Slam majors in the world, so an incredibly special event. The maximum height today, 1.60 m, and that is a full-up show jumping course. It doesn't get much bigger than this in the sport of show jumping. Today, we said it's a slightly special format. You don't see it very much. Daniel Coyle talked about this earlier. 2 rounds and a jump-off decide the winner of this Grand Prix. And, of course, the winner takes home €500,000 in prize money, but there's quite a bit more on offer, of course, because so many of the placings also take a big chunk of prize money home with them as well. But the winner, quite a substantial little pot of cash to take with them. Very good sport we're going to see here as well today. Into that as well. But we want to get stuck into the analysis side of things now as our team at Echo Ratings, led by Charlotte, puts all this together for us. And we talked a bit about this yesterday. It is name after name after name of the best riders in the world. Their best horses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in some of the interviews that we've had over the past couple of days, we've heard riders say it. It feels like it's not just a feeling. It's not a feeling because we've run the numbers, and today's Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen is the strongest Grand Prix of Aachen on record, with an ELO field strength of 756, which is 12 ELO points higher than last year's Aachen Grand Prix. The only 5-star Grand Prix or World Cup on our record, so since 2010, that had a stronger field was Geneva, the Rolex Grand Prix of Geneva in 2024. So this is, on record, the second strongest 5-star Grand Prix we've ever seen. So it is so tough out there. We've got the best riders with their best horses all going head to head, and it's going to be such a showdown. Like, you almost can't call it yet because there's so many good names in this field, and the numbers back that up.
She is absolutely frothing. I've never seen anything like it, apart from Deep Earn. I mean, he does get excited about the sport of then about these previous winners, because that really puts it into context as well. When you look at the names on that list, the biggest names in our sport, the best riders as well, have won it in. How big and important of an event this is.
Yeah, I mean, just look at those names. Martin Fuchs and Leonie Ye, obviously last year winning their 4th major Rolex Grand Slam Grand Prix together. Absolutely incredible. Martin is back, but I mean, the names, the Germans especially on their home turf, have been very successful here in Aachen. Andre Thieme and DSB Shakaria are back. They're back to defend their 2024 title. They're on the back of a Grand Prix win in Hamburg just last week, so on great form. Marcus Enning is up for a record Grand Prix of Aachen, which only 2 other riders have done before, Nick Skelton and the Italian Piero D'Inzeo. So that's all to play for. He's a previous winner. Gerrit Nieberg, Daniel Deusser, Kent Farrington, also back. He won back in 2019 on Gazelle. He's here on Greer. World #1 now. On such good form, Greer, World Cup champion. She won the US Equestrian Open, that Rolex Grand Prix in Wellington. So, I mean, the names that are on the previous winners list, the names that are on the start list for today, it is so exciting.
So exciting. And one of those names we did talk about there, it was an unbelievable victory last year that we watched unfold in Aachen in 2020. Was taken by Martin Fuchs and Leonie Ye, and we're going to look at that now.
Multi-Grand Slam winner already. Geneva, Spruce Meadows, top 10 winner as well.
And I don't think any horse rider combination has been in more Grand Slam jump-offs than him and Leonie Ye.
Probably not.
I don't have the exact number,
That's
but I don't think there's
fact.
anyone else. Yeah, I'm very confident that that's a fact. Thursday night. the same thing that I just said, that was the 9. Now he's gonna do 9 again. Yeah, that was 9 again. He's definitely faster right now.
Yeah. We're going to check close to the end. Jumps the wall well. Doesn't get too far drifted beyond
that was
this.
Very fast. That was really fast.
Yeah. Lands here in 43. 52.59 to beat Martin Fuchs. Dionige going for another Grand Slam title. He takes 2 seconds off it. 50.29. Steve Gerdau's teammate gives him a round of applause as well.
And that, Steve, could be the winner.
Yeah.
He took more than 2 seconds.
The determination all coming out. Martin Fuchs in the lead, 50.29.
Martin, congratulations. What an incredible performance. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, over the moon is right. I mean, Aachen is just something different, and I've been once very close with my fantastic Clooney, and now today, even last year with Leonice, we were close. I made the rider's mistake in the jump off, so today I was really focused, and I was like, okay, give him my best ride.
Were you really targeting this competition with Leone?
Yeah, Leone was here the whole week, just schooling and waiting for the big day to come, and he showed again why he's one of the best horses in the world.
It was amazing to watch. The pictures of his face over the last, when they're slowed down, were particularly special, and you could tell how much we were gunning for that one.
It was pure determination,
yeah.
And he got there. If it works, it's a great job.
If it works, that's it. He was pretty pleased with that. Absolutely good stuff, and we'll see him back this afternoon, albeit with a different horse. So we talk about this Rolex Grand Slam. So this is a Rolex Grand Prix we see today, but the Rolex Grand Slam, of course, has these 4 events. This is something that's a bit of a quest that riders around the world are on to try and be this Grand Slam title winner. It's tough. It's a really, really big ask. But how does it all work? Well, our reporter Rosie Russell explains it all for you.
The Rolex Grand Slam of show jumping, the pinnacle of the sport. A challenge so demanding that only one rider in history has ever achieved it. Created in 2013, the Rolex Grand Slam unites 4 of the most prestigious events in international show jumping, known as the Rolex Grand Slam Majors. The journey begins at the Dutch Masters in the Netherlands and continues to the iconic CEST Aachen in Germany. It then moves to the legendary CSIO Spruce Meadows in Canada and concludes at CHI Geneva in Switzerland. These are more than competitions. They are the stages where the sport's greatest riders, horses and moments become part of history. Every major has its own atmosphere, packed grandstands, immense pressure and some of the most challenging courses in the world. For riders winning just a career, but the Rolex Grand Slam asks for something even greater. Grand Slam of show jumping, a rider must claim victory in 3 consecutive Rolex Grand Prix events across the 4 majors. That's 3 consecutive victories against the very best combinations in the world, across different countries, conditions and arenas. Over the years, many of the sport's biggest names have chased the dream, but only one rider has ever completed the Rolex Grand Slam, and that was Scott Brash. Together with his legendary Hello Sanctos, the British rider produced one of the greatest achievements the sport has ever seen. After winning the Rolex Grand Prix at CHI Geneva in 2014, in 2015, before securing the Spruce Meadows later the same year. In that moment, Scott Brash became the first and still the only rider to win the Rolex Grand Slam of show jumping. And that's what makes this challenge so unique. Every year, new contenders emerge. Every major creates new pressure and new opportunities for history to be made. It's simply about winning. It's about sustaining excellence at the very highest level of the sport. One title, 4 majors, 1 place in history. The Rolex Grand Slam of show jumping.
Hugely special, iconic, and a place in history, as Rosie rightly puts it there. Unbelievable. We do have a live contender. We're going to get into that. About these shows too, it's important to note that this is a CHIO, these CHIO events that there's multi-disciplines. That sort of denotes how many disciplines there are. This particular one's got a cute nickname, a CHIO with a TS this year, because it's just show jumping this time around because of those World Championships later on in the year in Aachen. We want to talk about this Rolex Grand Slam series. Let's give you 4 fast facts about it then. Of course, it started in 2013 and includes those 4 events. If you win 3 in a row, you get a €1 million bonus and the title. That is what it means. If you win 4, you get a further €1 million in your pocket. And Scott Brash, of course, as we said there, is the only rider to ever have won. So which of those events? Let's just take another look at which of the events actually count towards this Rolex Grand Slam. There are 4. There we are, as we said, CHIO Aachen. This year it is the TS, cheeky nickname, Spruce Meadows, which is a CSIO, just for show jumping. CHI Geneva is our 3rd one before we get to Sertogenbosch, the Dutch Masters, as we call them as well. They are our 4 events. Now, the list of names when it comes to winners of majors is the who's who of show jumping. These are icons of our sport. Let's take a little look at Charlotte, because we really, really have. I mean, take a look at that. That is quite some list.
It's an incredible list, and last year when Martin Fuchs won here in Aachen, he was the first rider to actually win 5 Rolex majors. But then we went to Spruce Meadows and Scott said, no, not on my watch. I am the Rolex Grand Slam show jumping rider. I'm going to win another one. So he matched that record of 5. So we have 2 riders who are back here today. They can try and, out and out get the record again to win their 6th. Daniel Deuser has won 3. He's won here in Aachen as well on Killer Queen. Marcus Enning, who has won Aachen 3 times. So that's where his 3 come from. Kent Farrington, the world #1 currently. He's here on Greya on superb form. Winner in Geneva, which was absolutely incredible, winning their 8th 5-star Grand Prix or World Cup of that year. So what a list. Steve Gerda, who's going to be first to go here as well in Aachen today. He's won multiple. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, and I can keep talking for hours about these riders.
And she will. Just wind her up and watch her go. We want to talk about the live contender then, because that's important to know, because remembering that it's consecutive wins that help you head towards claiming this title, this Grand Slam title. This is our live contender. It's Richie Vogel. He took the win at the Dutch Masters this year in Sertogenbosch. Of course, he's had other wins in Geneva in 2023, of course. So he's had 2 victories at Rolex Grand Slam level, but he comes in as our live contender today, and we're going to talk a lot more about him. But firstly, what we want to do is take a look at that winning round from Sertogenbosch.
Previously, it was Geneva in 2023. He now is also the reigning European champion. We still look for the opening clear as United Touch S goes with Richard Vogel.
6 strides there, as opposed to the 7 that we saw Kent do. So he's doing the turns and taking strides out, so he has to be quicker. Look at that for a big horse, just backing off in that double.
Oh. How does he handle the turn back?
Deep,
wide.
He's deep, but he's done it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. 1 stride out there and a big chase.
Now he's going to run all the way to the finish to set the standard as the opening clear. And will it be enough? We will wait to find out. But at 39.42, it could. even at this stage in the jump-off, be enough to win it for Richard and United Touch, because that had everything that you would think you would have needed. The way he galloped to the last, the way he twisted and turned his way around this arena. You couldn't have asked for a better example.
No, look at his slow motion. I mean, that for a big horse, he was so nimble the way he came through that double. This was tight.
Richie, congratulations. What an incredible, incredible win. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, just delighted how everything worked out. United jumped incredible both rounds. Yeah, he's just such an incredible, amazing horse. The way he can jump those oxers out of tight turns, I think is probably the only horse in the world that can handle it like that, and still so athletic and everything. So yeah, very delighted and over the moon.
And the Rolex Grand Slam live contender, of course, again. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, of course, all the Rolex majors are the best shows in the world. So the best riders in the world with their best. And, you know, it's always a highlight in our show calendar. So, yeah, to be on top today is something very, very special. To be the live contender now at Aachen. But it's nice pressure to have, and we try to make a good plan towards Aachen.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, super stuff. Really great to hear Richie after that win in Turgenbosch at the Dutch Masters, which makes him the live contender, puts him into that position. And Marlon actually caught up with Richie yesterday after the qualifier. It didn't quite go the way he wanted to yesterday. I think he had one down. Still not so bad, but he has a plan in mind, and he chatted to Marlon about it yesterday.
United jumped a small class on Friday morning. He felt very good, he's fresh, he's motivated. It's only his third show actually in the year, so he's very happy to be on a show. He's very motivated. Still, we decided to not jump him today because it's quite hot also this weekend, and hopefully we need, and therefore we want to save all the energy. So yeah, fingers crossed.
And the weather is totally different. I mean, we saw Martin in his winner's interview from last year, and it was grey and wet and raining, and today it is baking. It is bright sun in Aachen. It is really all happening there. We are going to talk more about Richie. We're going to let you talk more about Richie in a minute, Charlotte. I'm going to let you off the leash. But first of all, we want to go down to Marlon, who is in that beautiful sunshine with a very special guest.
Yes, a very warm welcome to Oda Charlotte Lundberg from Norway, who had a super World Cup season. You did your first World Cup final. Look at the hat. She's a really Texas lady now. Did a really, really well result there. And also, this is your first time in Aachen with your younger horses and Carabella. What has it been like coming here?
Yeah, it's just a little bit, I said, like pinch me in the arm experience. Amazing experience, but I'm very, very thankful to get to try out. Yeah.
And we are really actually getting very close to the Rolex Grand Slam starting. You can tell now the warm-up arena here is super quiet. Everyone is gathering, starting to gonna walk the course. How would you describe the excitement in the air right now?
I can only imagine if I had to ride. Now I'm very relaxed, but it's something different here. The atmosphere and also all the audience and the people around with so much love for the sport, and the level on riders and horses in this class is it's really the top.
And everyone is talking about how you really need to have a special kind of horse to do Aachen, and especially now with WEG and this Rolex Grand Slam, that you really want to have you want to know your horse, and you know that they have the skills they need here. You have done this weekend with Carabella. How did you feel in there? And I mean, she's a super skilled horse, but this is the first time in Aachen.
Yeah, and I really could feel it's been a lot of focus on indoor season. So now to get out here, and this is only her second outdoor show this year, So I really had to try to find buttons and in a good way that I could do the smaller. Everything is big in Aachen, but the smaller classes here, it was actually very nice without the pressure and to just feel and get her some rhythm out in the big ring.
And how would you describe a horse that is, the horses that are about to do this Rolex Major? It's a very big test. It's warm today. What would you say that you really need to have in a horse?
And I think for overall you need a horse that wants to fight for you in here. You need a horse that is brave, focused, in one with the riders. But as the riders in this class are so skilled and the horses are amazing, so I'm sure we're going to see great sport.
And what a level on this in this class. We have Enarde Cersei, Checker, Greya, Hermitage Calon, the first 4 horses. That is just...
Yeah, it's hard to pick one here today, I have to say.
Yeah, very hard to pick one, but in a few hours we will know who will be the Rolex Major 2026.
Thank you so much to Marlon and to Oda Charlotte. We loved her. She was one of our favourites.
Incredible, and the emotion that she showed when she, after she competed, it was absolutely lovely, and I love that she got the opportunity to compete here without the added pressure of having to compete in a Rolex Grand Prix straight away in Aachen. But it's a great dress rehearsal for, I hope, to see her at the World Championships in a couple of months' time.
Yes, come on, girl. We really want to see it. And we want to see her in this Rolex World too soon, because we need a lot more girl power. That's going to be certainly something we're going to be pushing. But let's talk a little bit more about the analysis, Charlotte. We are going to dig into this now. It's almost going to become the Richie show. We're going to talk a lot about Richie Vogel and United Touch. It could be a really special day for them. But let's first talk then about what we're looking at in terms of the numbers.
So this is a very tough Grand Prix, and the numbers show if you have 2 rounds. And the thing is about that first round is that is the real big test, because you see here in the last 10 years only 24% of combinations that go in there jump clear. That is just less than 1 in 4, which is a really tough Grand Prix. I think the average is between 25 and 30%, so it's slightly below that, so it's really tough out there. It gets a little bit easier, in inverted commas, in the second round, where a little over 50% jump clear, but it's not jumping clear in one or the other. You have to jump clear in both to get into that jump off, unless in Spruce Meadows, where they were jumping off on 0 and 4. But ideally, like Richard Vogel said, a triple clear is what gets you on the podium and hopefully a win. We're predicting at this moment 5 to get through to the jump off. Now, last year we had a very big jump off. We saw 11 go through to the jump off. But then there was only 4 clears in that jump off. So even if you get to the jump off, not all is played for, because you're pushing each other to the absolute maximum to try and get that win. And it's going to be such a great showdown. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talked about that too, with the points too, if you jump in the first round and you have a 0, and you jump in the second round and have a 4, and another rider does that, you go through to the jump off carrying that 4, like obviously with the 4.
If no one jumps double clear, then we're carrying 4s or people on time penalties down to the jump off. But usually we're seeing double clears go to the jump off.
Yeah. Let's take a look then, with all that in mind about how many we think will make it. Let's take a look at the clear chances then, because this is a really, goodness me.
This field is just so packed, and Malin actually said it there earlier. We're going straight in with Steve Goddard going first, and then we have Hermitage Cologne second, and Checker third, and then Greya fourth. So we're being thrown straight in, and we'll know very quickly how this rides, because Greya is one of the horses that we predict that has the most chance to jump clear, and she's 4th to go, so we'll know immediately. United Touch, of course, the people's prince of show jumping, the one that every person in those stands in Aachen will be vying to win, supporting, because not only is he the live contender, he had a little bit of a near miss 2 years ago here in Aachen as well. So he's really going to want to get the win for himself, for the crowd, for the Grand Slam. Dara Kenny and Eddie Blue have been on a great run as well. They won a Grand Prix, a 5-star Grand Prix out in Wellington to start this season. Shane Sweetnam and James Can-Cruz, the absolute podium machines, are back here. They have good venue form as well in Aachen. Hermitage Cologne, second to go as well. You know, such a strong combination. Double European medalists. They haven't done that much this year yet. I believe this is actually their first 5-star of the year, but they're out here, never discount them. Nina Malvé, Dynastie de Beaufour, they had that streak of 14 consecutive 5-star 160 clears. Obviously, we're giving them a very good chance at jumping clear, and I say very good, I mean it's a 50-50 chance in a Grand Prix where only 24% jump clear. I mean, I can keep going. Sophie Hinners, Iron Dame Sinclair, Max Kuhner, Electric Blue P, Christian Kuker, Checker. I mean, the names keep coming. Stop me, Amy, because I'm going to fill the show.
She's Rain Manning out, ladies and gentlemen. She is Rain Manning out. We need to talk about then our favourites, because as if we could possibly have one, but the numbers help us. They support us, because from our sensitivities and sensibilities, we couldn't choose one. But the numbers tell us there are joint favourites going into this class, Charlotte. And here is the first one, and you cannot deny the power of Kent Farrington and Greer.
We don't have an out-and-out favourite because that field is so packed, because there's so many superstars. We have one of our favourites that we've mentioned and will continue to mention in Richard Vogel and United Touch, but of course, world number one, Kent Farrington and Greer, who won they won together 7 5-star Grand Prix and World Cup classes in 2025. They won the Rolex Grand Prix of Geneva. They came into 2026, won the US Equestrian Open final in Wellington, that Rolex Grand Prix there. They were World Cup final champions, and now they are here in Aachen to try and win that as well. Kent, a former winner in 2019. He is world number one right now, but there is this little battle going on. It's very tight at the top on the Longines rankings between Kent, between Richard Vogel, between Scott Brash. They're all here. They're all going to try and gather also Longines ranking points, because there's a lot on offer here to try and, get ahead. Kent to try and stay ahead. Scott to get back up there, and for Richard Vogel to get there for the very first time.
I told you. We let her off the leash and off she goes. We want to talk about he would have to be our favourite here again. Farrington, our rider in focus, is Richard Vogel. United Touch, yes, we cannot talk enough about this horse who we absolutely adore. He has this enormous canter. He goes inside and wins in Amsterdam, at the Dutch Masters in St. Unbelievable scenes. They are the live contender. They are a top-level superstar, and we cannot wait to see what they can do today. It would be incredibly special in front of a home crowd. He was our rider in focus for today. Let's take a look.
An Aachen week is always a week packed with a lot of emotions, a busy week, ups and downs, hopefully more ups than downs, but it's always a very exciting week, a lot of things happening. We bring a couple of horses here, and they in general really like the grass field, but for some of them they can the whole setup and by the environment here. Any of the Rolex majors is a highlight in our show calendar. So the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen, of course, is already a class that puts high pressure on each of us as a rider. As you mentioned, to come here now as a live contender is probably a nice privilege to have, and obviously. But we have United here. He's feeling like he's in very good shape. We just did the warm-up class. We're at the moment quite optimistic. Yeah, I think United Touch suits into the Aachen Assurs very, very well. He has a big stride, obviously, enormous scope. Nevertheless, he performed very well in indoors as well. But I think he really likes those grass fields like we have it here in Aachen. And hopefully we can prove that on Sunday. It's a real privilege. He's an outstanding horse. The abilities he has is really out of this world. I don't know any other horse with such a stride, such a scope. And then what probably makes him the most special is his interior, his character. So it's a real pleasure to work with him and to be in his saddle. But I also have to say, you know, we're in a partnership since quite a bit of time, and actually a lot of the things we've done for the first time, the both of us together. So for both of us, it has been a big learning curve, but we feel like we have quite a strong bond. They're kind of into the sport, being able to give him results and to kind of put him into the history books. Because I have to say, especially in the beginning, there were quite a lot of doubters. People that said, you know, for sure he has a lot of scope and a big stride, but the stride is already too big to handle technical and short lines. And for sure he's also going to be too slow. In the beginning we weren't the quickest pair. We struggled always a bit with the time allowed. In the first round already, and in the jump off it wasn't the easiest for us to be competitive and as quick as others. Yeah, that I think shows one more time how much of a learner he is, how much he wants to do the things right and how much he wants to improve. So over the years he for sure got quicker and he got kind of more in those technical lines. Yeah, it's quite incredible. It's only a feeling you ever have here in Aachen. There's many amazing tournaments, amazing shows in this world, but Aachen, you know, for me is really outstanding. The crowd here, the atmosphere here is something very special, and on top of that we find perfect conditions for our horses and of course for us riders. There's a lot of concurrence this week. There's many of my colleagues that want to make our life a little bit harder, especially on Sunday in the Rolex Grand Prix. I think all riders out of the world top 25 are here, out of the world ranking. So that already shows you how tight also the level of the sport is going to be. So to be very honest, it's impossible, I think, to pick a favorite or a winner for Sunday. Hopefully we have a good shot, but as I said, there will be many of our colleagues trying to make that not happen for us.
The People's Prince of show jumping, taking to the hallowed turf at Aachen in front of thousands of his adoring fans today, of course with his faithful partner in crime, United Touch, who we just love to see in action. Charlotte, let's dig into a little bit more analysis then. We want to talk about ones on form as they come into this competition then.
This is one of my favourite tables that we are going to be talking about this whole day, because when we're looking at ones on form, I mean, look at those numbers. You need to know that a horse that jumps 50% is an incredible horse. We have 10 here that have a clear rate of at least 56%. Look at the top there. Nina Malvé and Dynastie de Beaufort in the last 12 months at the highest level of 5-star 160 have jumped 23 rounds, of which 18 were clear, which is a clear rate of 78%.
Unbelievable.
I need everyone that is watching to understand how out of this world that is. This lady has been incredible. This pair has been incredible over the past year done before. Dynastie is also the first mare to do it, and Nina was the first lady rider to do it. So absolutely incredible. We go down to DSB Shakaria, the 2024 Aachen winner, who can be actually the first horse in 23 years to win Aachen twice. A little bit less. She's competed a little bit less over the past 12 months because she has been off, but 3 clears from 4 rounds, including a win in Hamburg last week, so 75%. I mean, Greya, 10 clears from 15, she's at 67%. It just keeps going on. Sophie Hinner is talking about girl power with Iron Dame Sinclair. Incredible clear rate of 61%, but also they have a very good record in these Rolex majors.
Yeah.
They were double clear in Aachen here last year. They jumped clear in Geneva. So those are the 2 majors that horse has competed in, always jumped clear in the rounds. Yeah. So that's a combination definitely to look out for. Scott Brash, the only ever winner of the Rolex Grand Slam. He's here on Jeff For the 7th time, they are jumping in Aachen. For the 7th time together, going to try and get the win. I mean, Helo Jefferson is in the form of his life. He's already won 2 5-star Grand Prix this year alone at the ripe old age of 16 years old, I believe.
It's very long life, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. They're back here. I mean, Scott wants that world #1 spot back from Kent Farrington. So a lot of motivation to try and make that happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the favourites and how they match up against those that are bringing that form, because that is very, very interesting. We've, of course, Nina Malavey and Dynastie de this, unbelievable rate going into today. But they sort of match up. Things look a little even, but when it comes to wins, there's a little bit of difference there.
Yes, obviously United Touch and Richard Vogel have this incredible stride, which has served them well in jump-offs. Every 5-star 160 jump-off, they have jumped clear in, they have won, so that accounts for the number of wins that they have on the board there. 11 individual and team wins, 14 podiums, compared to 2 wins for Nina and Dynastie and 9 podiums. But I mean, we just looked at the recent form in the last 12 months, and this is the career, and you see how much better they are in the last 12 months than they have been in their career. They're in the form of their lives.
In the form of their lives. Unreal stuff. It's all coming our way. We want to just go back to Marlon now, because we know that the course is set, has been walked by the officials. The riders are having access to it now. And Marlon is actually with one of the course design team, and that is Stefan Wirt.
Yeah, Stefan Wirt, who's a level 3 international course designer working very closely with the course building team here in Aachen. How would you... important task ahead?
Yeah, I think on one hand they deal with that very professionally. On the other hand, I think they have also because it's a big class and they have top riders. If you have a look into the starting list, you can see out of the top 30 riders in the world ranking list, there are 29 are on the starting list. So this is something where the course designers will also be nervous if it is working what they have planned.
And you have been in there walking round 1, the course. What is your reactions to the questions?
A big track, technical, and yeah, it looks really demanding.
If you would put, you say it's big. I also walked by the Swedish chef to keep earlier. I asked him, I said, have you walked the course? He said the same thing, it's big. But if you can put it into perspective, compare it to any other 5-star Grand Prix, just...
Aachen is always a very special place. So you can see the starters which are here competing. Yes, allows the course designers also to build bigger, and this is what we see today.
Any line especially that you think we should keep an extra eye on?
Yeah, I mean, there are always lines to and from the combinations, to and from the water. This is something where we have to look at, and yeah, I think the lines are technical. The riders have to decide according to the length of their so the course designers put a lot of tasks in the course.
Yeah, sounds like we have a perfect Rolex major ahead. So exciting, it's about to start, and yeah, we're so ready to watch all of these super athletes in the great arena.
Thank you so much to Marlon and to Stefan there to give us some insight on that. Of course, we're getting towards the pointy end of things now, Charlotte. Going to see that sport kick off in just a moment. Let's talk about that then, because once they've jumped round 1, round 2, there's a big old jump off at the end for those making it through. Who is dangerous if they're getting there?
The honest answer to that is almost all of them, because We have such experienced jump-off combinations in this field that whoever gets in, it'll be exciting. I mean, James Cruz and Shane Sweetnam are podium machines, quite literally. They have jumped 22 5-star 160 jump-offs and finished on 20 podiums, which is an incredible conversion rate. So if they're in the jump-off, that they will pick up a podium finish. The real question then is, can they finally get a Rolex major win? Because no Irish rider has won a Rolex major, and they only have 2 wins from a jump-off on their board. So that would be the real one to be looking forward to. Kent and Greya, I mean, their jump-off record speaks also for themselves. They've won 11 5-star 160 classes from a jump-off, from 17 jump-offs. They have a very good clear rate there as well of 76%. United Touch and Richard Vogel have jumped 8 5-star 160 jump-off clears. All of them wins. If they're clear in a jump-off, they win.
Yeah.
Full stop. They are unbeaten in a jump-off they jump clear in, but the question is, will they jump clear in it? Because they take so 7%, and just to match that up to Hermitage Cologne and Gilles Thomas, who have jumped 7 5-star 160 jump-offs and jumped all of them clear.
Well, let's have a look at these win chances very quickly, because we are getting to the pointy end of things now. The sport well and truly on its way. There they are, those names again. Of course, United Touch, S, Richie Vogel, Kent Farrington and Greya sitting there on their 8%. But we know how stacked it is. It is evenly spread. That name there, James Cruz and Shane Sweetnam, I know that's one you'll certainly have some money on, Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely for a podium. I really want that win for them. But, I mean, Hermitage Cologne, double European medalist, Dynastie de Beaufort and Nina Malvé, so close last year, but just had a fence down. We're actually faster than Leonie, Martin Fuchs. Can they rematch this year and try and get the win? Hello Jefferson, back at 16 years old. Christian Kukuk and Checker, Olympic champions. I mean, the names keep coming. Anyone in this list can win it, and it would be so deserved.
Absolutely, they can. And we've got so much more coming for you this afternoon. We are going to say goodbye now. 24/7 channel. If you want to continue watching the afternoon of sport, and you certainly will, do join us on Clip My Horse TV as a premium subscriber. To do that, we're going to hand over to our commentary team. Enjoy. We'll be with you throughout the afternoon in the studio with those all-important rider interviews as well. But for now, here's
to claim the Rolex must win 3 of these 4 majors in succession.
It takes a lot of control. Every centimeter counts.
I didn't actually think to win.
You have the best riders in the world with the best horses. Everyone wants to be on top.
Wow! We have witnessed something truly incredible here.